Congressman Peter Welch, Democrat from Vermont. He's a member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Congressman, thank you for your time. You heard Kelly O'Donnell have at least senior officials on both sides either feeling real frustration, those were her words, damage control is what another person told her, and at least one Democrat saying that they too feel that the questions asked have not been adequately answered regarding the IRS. What, if any, concerns do you have, sir?
Well, huge concerns. I mean, this is outrageous and unacceptable. You know, the IRS has to enforce the law, but not on partisan basis. It has to be equal enforcement of the law. And of all the agencies, the IRS has the biggest obligation to make sure it's playing by the rules and enforcing the law. And two things have happened here. Number one, the IRS crossed a line. I mean, you cannot be targeting a particular group. That's number one. Number two, they've destroyed their credibility to do appropriate investigations when the tax code is being abused. So this is a very serious situation, and in fact, we do have to get to the bottom of it.
The USA Today also points out in reviewing this data, the 27 months the IRS put on hold all Tea Party applications for nonprofit status, that it approved applications for similar liberal groups, in a sense slowing down some of these Tea Party applications and fast-tracking some of the liberal organizations. We've learned a lot of facts since Friday when the IRS originally apologized prior to the report itself coming out. Today, though, no one has been fired. Should that happen before this week's end?
Well, we've got to get to the bottom of it before we fire people, but the fact is it's got to be on the table that people who are responsible could be fired and they could be prosecuted. I mean, this principle of equal enforcement of law is what this whole country is founded on, and there cannot be any deviation from a commitment to that principle. We've got to enforce the law. I mean, but this would be like you're speeding down the interstate, and if you're a farmer, you get a ticket, but if you're a factory worker, you don't. I mean, if you're speeding, the law applies to you regardless of what kind of occupation you have. So this issue about the abuse of the tax code, whether it's an Obama-affiliated organization or a Romney or call it Tea Party-affiliated organization, they've got to play by the same rules, and it's up to the IRS to do that.
And as you well know, there's been criticism on how the Obama administration has handled all of this. How would you, or at least can you give me your feeling on how the scandals, may it be the Benghazi to the IRS, and of course what we're watching right now, Eric Holder commenting on the AP investigation and those phone records. Is the administration handling it the way you'd like to see?
Well, those are each separate. You know, on the IRS, there's nothing to handle. We've got to be fully transparent and follow the facts to wherever they may lead. That is profoundly serious to the integrity of the IRS and to the principle of equal treatment of law. Benghazi, I think, quite frankly, is much more of a political deal, and there'll be no satisfaction among the folks who want to go after Hillary Clinton and the president. The AP is another one that I think is extremely important. The press was doing its job, and we've got to protect the First Amendment. It may be that people who were telling the press things that were secret should be taken into account, because they may be crossing a line or a law. But the press, in doing its job, cannot be challenged, and I think that this was unacceptable to be going after the AP phone records.
Congressman Welch, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate you addressing all of those topics. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let me bring in today's news.